I just realized that I haven't updated anyone on how 2019 went and all my crazy little schemes of pay what you want and whatnot. So I'm cleaning up for a session right now. But if I could sum up 2019 in one word, it would probably be messy, but not in a bad way. Um, Man, so locally, I think when word got around that I was doing the pay what you want thing, it was a scheduling nightmare. I wasn't necessarily worried going into the pay what you want thing, worried that people weren't going to pay. I, I didn't necessarily anticipate how much traction it would gain. Long and short of it, scheduling became a real nightmare at times. I took on way too much at times, and it was stressful, but good stress. We equate stress to just being horrible a lot of times, and that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes things are busy and it's stressful and it's good for you. And I know a lot of other people that kind of do what I do, or not even studio and audio stuff, but when you have your own business, sometimes there's ups and downs in terms of how much workload you have, and that's especially true with me. Some months I have way too much, and some months I'm actively looking for more things to do. So 2019 was messy, but again, in a good way. I learned a lot. So I guess the biggest takeaway that I could share with people would be in regards to scheduling. I learned a lot about scheduling, and I've raised rates a little bit. All that's on the website. It's not too much, but it was time. I need to raise the day rate a little bit. It's at 300 a day right now, and I think I kept mixing the same. It's around 150 a song, but I raised rates a little bit. But scheduling wise, I've always hated the idea of people having to pay deposits to do time with me, but it has to happen. I had so many people not necessarily cancel, but definitely a lot of people rescheduling on me a lot of times. And for lack of a better word, that was not cool. um, yeah, so the biggest takeaway that I got from this, and what I'm gonna kind of do from now on, is I'm gonna require deposits from people, because I think with the pay what you want thing, one thing that happened with that was that people don't value your time as much. And I'm not saying that necessarily to call out anyone specific. I don't want to do that, but I've just learned that you have to incentivize people to value your time. So I've learned that the hard way a lot of times this year, and I kind of just turned the other cheek a lot of times, because this was my own doing. I'll actively admit that. It was a weird idea, and I knew that there were going to be bumps, and that was the biggest bump. So takeaway from that, starting now, officially 2020, I'm requiring deposits from people. And if you're just booking a day, it's 20% up front. But I've got details on the website if you need to look. But most of the things I do out here, because people have to travel to work with me, is I quote people at project rates. When I quote you a project rate, I'm going to need 20% up front. And I don't think that's a lot. I think that's fair, and I think it's going to force people to kind of get in their head that, I have to commit to what I've said I'm going to do. So long and short, yeah, I'm going to require deposits. That's the worst thing that came out of this. The rest was really positive. I did get a hell of a lot more people in the studio. There's a lot of time booked. I've been out here 3 years now, and this was by far the busiest year. And I think the pay what you want thing probably had something to do with that. But I'm working with more people, so I think it's kind of natural. You just grow as a business. So yeah, there's a lot of good that came from it. I met a lot of people. Everyone paid me fairly for the most part. Most people paid more, which was a little unexpected, but I mean, I'm about to look at taxes and everything and jump down that rabbit hole, but I um I think overall I brought in a lot more money than I expected. So I think it was a success overall. Things went well, and I met a lot of new people. There were a handful of people that told me they're like, "Hey, I can't pay you anywhere near what I think is fair." And I told them, I was like, "Hey, don't worry about it." A couple of those people I was just really excited to work with, and I had time during that time period, so I told them just go ahead and do it. And they still paid me. I thought was a fair rate. But yeah, I met a lot of new people, brought in a lot of new business, and it was a good year. But again, scheduling was a nightmare, unfortunately. But yeah, great success, I guess I could say. I'm never doing that again, though. I'm never doing that again. It was a fun experiment, and I'm glad it's over because I'm ready to move forward and get back to normal normal planning, be that financial or just time. So yeah, everyone that came and worked with me in 2019, thank you. I had a blast. I can't think of anything that went catastrophically wrong. It was a good year overall. Lots of growth and lots of forward movement. So I guess that's all you can ask for sometimes. And, good things in 2020. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone that came out here. And I'm looking forward to 2020. It's off to a good start so far. Next 3 months are, again, back to crazy town, but a little bit better prepared this time around, having learned some things last year. So yeah, happy 2020. Let's get back to it. Peace. That was lame. I don't know why I said that. Bye.